What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back with another episode of Love and Relationships. I am your host. It's your boy JD, aka Mr. December, and we got some special guests with us today on this live stream. Y'all know my boy RJ. He's back with us again. Come on, say something to the people, RJ.
Hey, what's up, y'all, man? This is RJ back with
Uh,
another lovely tune.
oh
That
yeah,
radio
oh
boy.
yeah. He definitely got the radio voice going on over there.
uh,
And we have another special guest. We have Miss Chelsea Deja Vu. Her and I go way back, way back, like four flats on the Cadillac. So, Miss Chelsea Deja Vu, say something to the people for us. Chelsea? Chelsea? Are you there? I think she froze up on us for a second.
mhm.
Chelsea, are you there? Are
Good,
you there?
fruitful conversation that can carry. Oh, I was just saying, I hope we have some good and fruitful conversations.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have that. And me and Chelsea have been discussing some things all day today, and we're gonna get into it. But before we get into the good stuff, I want to start off by saying I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like the video if you're watching right now. Tell everybody what we're doing. I want everybody to get engaged in the comments because we want to hear from you all. And if you're watching on the replay, we still want to hear from you as well. So feel free to comment below and share the video, like the video, let everybody know what we're doing over here on the Love and Relationships channel. All right. So last week, Chelsea, I believe you wanted to be with us last week, but you weren't able to be on with us. But that's cool. You're here with us today. And last week we talked a little bit about how long do you wait in a relationship? You know, when a relationship is just starting off, how long do you wait to get to know each other? And how long should you wait for the bedroom fun if you're picking up what I'm putting down? But now, what happens after all of that? How do you maintain a
Right.
healthy relationship? Because one of the things that I'm seeing that I'm noticing is a lot of times people don't have a problem meeting or don't have a problem hitting it off right at first. But the problem comes in once you start getting a little bit deeper in the relationship, once feelings start getting involved, if and when bedroom fun gets involved. And then I think a lot of people are scared to even move forward in a relationship because they might have a fear of one thing or the other, and we're gonna get into that a little bit too. But in your opinion, we're gonna start with Miss Chelsea, ladies first. In your opinion, what are some things that you see that are needed in our community to maintain a healthy relationship? That maybe some stuff that we've seen in the past is not going on these days, or maybe it's something that men and women should do different. What are your thoughts on that? How do we maintain a positive and healthy relationship once we get together?
Now, when you say a healthy and positive relationship within the community, do you mean like what the community needs to do to influence the relationship? Those
I,
within the relationship need to do
what
to
do the people what
impact a
do the
healthy
people within the relationship need to
relationship
do?
within themselves?
Yeah, what do the people within the relationship need to do?
Okay. Um, I would say people within a relationship, in my opinion, need to be self-aware. I think most importantly, um, they need to be self-aware of their faults because nobody is perfect, and everybody has something to work on, man or woman. And I think being aware of that, and being what you need to fix and within yourself will help you be better for another person in another relationship, etc., etc.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Do you agree with the old cliche happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life, however it goes?
I do not. I do not agree with that.
Really? Really? Tell
I
us
agree
why.
that you're. Why would I agree with that? I mean, why would I? Am I supposed to? Why is it?
Well,
In my opinion, it's just like you know, as as much as you should be happy, the husband should be happy. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe that statement doesn't completely say that only the wife needs to be happy for the whole marriage to be conducive or whatever. But I do think that just that statement, that mantra, perpetuates that stereotype, women's expectation, and like happy wife, happy life type deal. So
okay. Okay.
I don't
I,
really agree with
I
that.
can get down with that. And I like what you said because I think too many times, especially now in 2021, I believe that a lot of women feel like uh, how the men are feeling does not matter. And I think that's mad wrong. And the reason why is because, and this is another reason why I think we have a big disconnect is because for so long, men have been made to feel like we have to be quiet about what we're feeling or what we're dealing with, and because of that old cliche, happy wife, happy life. As long as the wife is happy, as long as the woman is happy, that's all that matters. While we're dealing with things and we're not satisfied, and then the longer that those issues go, being swept up under the rug, not being dealt with, the more problems they cause in the relationship. So, RJ, I want to go to you. What do you think is needed in our community for two individuals to make a happy and healthy and positive relationship? Come on, talk to us.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah. Excuse me, man. Something happened to my webcam. I was trying to fix it, but
Yeah, we're
Oh,
getting
you good,
some
man?
bad cut for me. Um,
You getting some what?
yeah, I'm getting in and out, so I can't really hear. I'm getting some
yeah,
static, so I can't really. I'm not getting
yeah,
Uh,
everything
you
that
real
you're
choppy.
saying.
yeah. Chelsea, do me a favor, bounce your stuff out.
What was the
Bounce.
last asked?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chelsea?
I can hear you right now. Yes,
Do me a favor and bounce yourself out, and then come back in, and I'll add you right back.
I can hear you right now. Yes.
Okay. I think it's a bit of a delay. RJ, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you coming through?
Okay. While she's doing that, go ahead and share your thoughts with us, RJ.
Um, yeah, man. I think communication, talking, talking to each other about how you feel about stuff, and um, putting the ego to the side. Because I think where we go wrong is like once we start to disagree with each other, egos come up, and no one wants to listen to the other side anymore. And so, I mean, I can speak from men. I think that sometimes we do need to listen. Sometimes those females, man, they 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 can be strong minded, and
Mm,
so I mean, I think it's just a willingness on both parties to really want the relationship to work. So I think communication is probably the biggest thing as far as relaying your thoughts to one another, decision making, and from a man's standpoint, I think we need to step up and be more leaders. from the beginning.
Mhm.
Show our counterparts, right? So, um, yeah, man, we really need to get that the family structure back under control. Um, and I think it starts with our generation, man, and kid, the generation after us is gonna elevate it more. But like I said, I think the biggest takeaway is communication.
Right, right. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. And one thing that I like to tell people, Chelsea, are you back with us? All
We're good
right,
to go.
cool, cool. All right, cool. RJ was just giving some of his thoughts, and he was saying that he feels like communication is real big on keeping a positive relationship. And I think communication is a lot bigger than what we actually realize. Because, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong, and let me know what y'all think about this. Men or women, as we know, are completely different, right? So if a woman is coming to her man with the issue of something that she's dealing with or something that she's not satisfied with, we as men, we automatically want to find a solution to the
Yeah.
problem because naturally men are fixers. We want to find a solution, whereas the female typically uh, just wants to be heard. She don't want you to analyze too much into it. A lot of times she doesn't even want you to find a solution, and if she does, it's not like right then. But I believe that's where a lot of the disconnect in communication is coming from because men are thinking logically and want to do something to fix the problem, while women, on the other hand, are thinking or operating more out of their emotions and just want to be heard and understood. Look, Chelsea doing like this. Come on with it. Come on with it, Chelsea. Tell me what
It's
you
a no
think.
for me, sir.
It's a no for you. What?
It's a
Well,
no
tell
for
me
me,
why.
sir.
Tell me why. Let's
I
talk about
think,
it.
well, I mean, for sure, let's talk about it. I think that men, you know, I mean, just the statement that you just made right there that women operate more out of emotion and men operate more out of logic is rooted in misogyny. Like we had discussed earlier, um, when a man believes that a woman should be cooking or cleaning simply because she is a woman, and he refuses to do those things simply because he is a man, that is misogyny. And I think that plays in to men and women that when operate emotion or operate a logic. And the thing about it is that like, men are much more prone to domestic abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like 85% of perpetrators of domestic abuse are men. So to say that women operate out of emotion to me is comical.
You said it's comical. You said it's comical to say that women operate out of emotion.
Are we stuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you going in and out
Yes,
still.
I do.
Okay,
Yes, because
so
that is that that's that
you're freezing up on us a little bit, but I think I know what you're getting at. So you're saying because you're saying that men operate more out of emotion than women do. Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing?
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's wrong to say men or women operate out of emotion versus the other. I don't think one or the other operates more out of emotion than the other because clearly the statistics don't that. You know what I'm saying? Like you become
Mm-hmm.
emotional when you are beating on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's rage or passion or love, love, whatever, that's emotion. And, I don't think, like, I think that mindset that women are just more emotional, that's more of a traditional mindset, I would say. A traditional mindset, which I honestly don't even believe in those terms. I don't think that they should be used. I think the terms themselves are toxic and perpetuate this, toxic patriarchy that we've created all these words for. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to talk too much.
No. You're
You know what I'm
doing
saying?
great. You're doing great actually. So when you say you don't want to use the traditional words, do you feel like men and women should be absolutely equal?
I think that men and women should be absolutely equal in all facets of society. I think that men and women have traits about them that are different, but that doesn't make them less or more. You know what I'm saying? We all have our attributes because at the end of the day, there's some women who can't have kids, and there's some women who can't have kids. And there's some scrawny men in this world who, can't do all the manly things that are considered masculine. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you try to make things gender specific, like I believe in God. God didn't make everybody gender specific. Some women literally can't have kids, and some men are just scrawny and women like. So
Hmm. Okay, I've got some thoughts I want to add add to that, but I'm gonna let RJ go ahead and go. He looked like he got something that he wants to add. Come on with it, RJ.
Nah, I'm just listening, man. That mindset that she has is really like the mindset of modern women today in general. You know, the common is that we're all equal, and I think that's wrong. I think it does a it doesn't do any justice as far as like, because just say, and when I say that, men and women aren't equal, that's not to say that one gender is less than the other gender. Women are better at things than men, and men are better at things than women. That's just what it is. It doesn't mean we're equal. Like, if a robber come to my house, I gotta go and lay down my life. If I gotta dig up a tree, I gotta do that. Certain things, certain things cause for certain, a male or a female, and it just, the male and female, we have different traits that make us different, but that doesn't mean like I'm better than a woman because I'm a man. It doesn't mean that you're under. It just, we're not equal. So, like I said, some things women are better at than men, and some things men are better at than women. So to say that everyone is equal, just take these transgender men competing in the Olympics and kicking the hell out of these, naturally born females. That's not equal. That's as unequal as you can get. It doesn't matter how much
okay,
estrogen
I
that
think
you take.
that's hopping topic.
And no, it's the same thing as far as being equal. That's the same topic. What I'm getting at is we're not equal. It doesn't mean that we're better than one another. It just means that we're not equal. That's all it means. That's the point I'm trying to get at. So when I pointed out the Olympics and that whole aspect, it was just pointing out the unequalness of men and women. Right. So it doesn't mean that we're better. It just mean that people are better at other things than other people.
Yeah,
Right.
and let me piggyback off what RJ just said. Now, I tend to believe
People.
more. Say that again. Say that again, Chelsea.
I'm not catching that, man. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah, it's a delay going on. Can you hear us all right now, Chelsea? But while she's getting her
Okay, now I
connection.
can hear you.
Okay, good. RJ was just saying that saying that men and women are not equal is not saying that one is better than the other one. And I have a prime example for that. I clean up, I cook, I do the outside work because I'm single and I live alone, right? But
Can
I can clean up and wipe up the
right before I
counter.
lose this thought,
I'm sorry.
I said, can I jump in and say this thought before I lose it?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'm not saying that men and women are not, equal or whatever. Like everybody is different. So like I think just centering it around men or women, period, is what the problem is. Because just like the mantra, happy wife, happy life, idea that women's happiness is more important than men's happiness, the idea that men are not equal to women perpetuates the idea that, you know, men are beneath women or women are beneath men. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
So,
And
yeah.
so the thing that I want to point out is that you're absolutely right. Men can clean up and cook just like women can, right? I could wipe off I do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the yard work because I'm single and I live by myself, right? But I could clean off the counter and I think it's spotless and I think it's clean.
Okay.
But one of my female friends could come through for a kickback and make my counter look like it's brand new. It's just something about that feminine touch. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Are y'all feeling what I'm saying? And the same
Yeah.
thing, a woman can go outside and cut the grass. True enough. But when you're doing the weed eating and all that stuff, a man has a certain kind of touch that a woman is not gonna have on the yard usually. Same thing with everything else. I can cook the same dish, and I'm a pretty good cook, if I must say so myself. But I could cook the same dish, and a woman could come in and
I'm
cook the
like
same
a
thing
gardener
behind
because
me.
she loves gardening, she loves being outside. Like this is so cap for me.
She said it's cap, but gardening gardening is what usually a female trait, right?
Gardening and chopping down trees and planting trees and digging a ditch or clearing off a forest is something
Please.
different. Picking up a
Okay.
stump, that's something different. That's something totally different, right?
I don't
We're
think.
not
I
saying that
mean,
she's less
that's
because she
the
garden,
whole
but
job. We're talking
we
about.
we
I mean, you're comparing a job of law compared to
no,
someone
that's
to go
not a
outside and
job. I
cut the
literally had to
grass. You
cut
know what I'm
down a
saying?
tree
Like
in my
when we go out and
backyard
do
the
our
other day.
nobody's cutting down trees and extra stuff. You
I
know what I'm saying? Like
I had to cut
unless
down
they
a
have
tree in
like
my backyard.
out. To be completely honest.
I'm giving
Okay, and you
a
know
I'm
what's
giving a
crazy? I lived on a house with my grandfather. He had 3 acres of land. He took me and my out back so we could cut down, so we could cut grass. So I did that all along next to my grandfather and next to my brother. So I don't see that being a man's job. I don't.
Can you go and pick up a log though? Right? Could you go and pick up a log on your shoulder and walk it 10 foot from
I mean, I was
where the tree fell
married,
to the?
so I can't. I, I, I can't pick. No, I mean, what is you being able to pick up a log over me? Now that's the conversation where it stops. You know what I'm saying? Because
No,
what is the
you
point of
missing
you
a
saying whether I can pick up a log or not? Because
because
now
I'm
what a
pointing
lot of
out the
men like to do is
differences.
they like to take their strength over women and take advantage of that. That's why
That's not an advantage. That's a difference.
abuse of men and not women, because they use
No,
their strength as a tool. We were just talking about, can you pick up a
you going
log?
to a hold You
Of
go into a
course,
whole different
you
other
have,
spectrum of this.
or if you're a big, hefty, small
Go ahead.
woman, is taking advantage of the fact that you have so supports the statistic of 85% of men being perpetrators of domestic abuse. Like, I just connected those dots, but a lot of men don't like to look at that reality or be accountable for that reality, and that's why there's a problem. That's part of the disconnect that he's talking about. For sure.
So hold up, JD. So what I was pointing at wasn't connected to domestic abuse. It was a fact that I can go and lift up a log and carry it 10 foot. It's nothing to do with domestic abuse or violence towards women or anything. It's just a fact. It's a natural fact. It's nothing to do with anything. You're breaking up. We can't hear you.
Not every man is stronger than not every man. That fact is faulty. That fact is extremely faulty.
You're breaking up. We couldn't hear you.
You were breaking up with most of that, Chelsea. We couldn't hear you. Are you still with us? Are you using Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Does your data? Can you use your data to see if that helps?
Yeah, Mike Jordan. Hold up, bye.
Mike Jordan in the building. These names, man.
Gotta say it right. Mike L. Jordan.
What the hell for Lamar?
Mike L. Jordan. But I think what our friend Chelsea was getting at is that and Chelsea, if you can hear me, correct me if I'm wrong. Because you were out doing certain things with your grandfather out on the land, you don't really see it as a gender type thing. But was your grandmother out there with y'all? Oh, we lost her. Maybe she'll be back in a second. But Mike L. Jordan, man, we were talking about how to keep a healthy relationship before Chelsea bounced out. I really hope she bounces back in. Here she comes. I really hope, because
I'll give my 2 cents on that.
Go ahead.
So to have a successful relationship, it don't even really matter like what tradition really says when it comes to that. As long as both parties agree to what their roles will be, I think you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? If she want to cut grass and chop wood, let her Mike linebacker ass get out there and cut wood and do all that. If she want to do that, I'm cool. I'll cook. If we can trade it out, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man traditionally does want to, do the grunt work, we pay the bills. We're not a slave to the woman, are we? But we pay. We do all the stuff we're supposed to do. As long as it's an agreement, it's cool. Because I'm cool. If you want to pay our bills, pay them all.
Mm-hmm.
But like, as long as you come to agreement, I think it'll be successful. It's not one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see the look all over Chelsea's face. Come on with it. Tell us what you got.
Not at all. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, calling her a linebacker and all this stuff, like, it made me think about the stereotype that Black women get for being too masculine. You know what I'm saying? And
not at all. My mama is like 300 pounds, and I call her a linebacker all day. That's just me joking. So that's just how I do. That's just me.
Right. So it's just,
I'm not deep, I don't like when folks do the victim type thing, because it's like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand.
Because think about a scrawny dude, right? Somebody might call him a pencil or a toothpick.
I'm sorry, what are we talking
about? Mike L. Jordan here was giving his views on on how to maintain a healthy relationship while you were waiting to come back in. I think he heard a little bit of it, but he was saying that the gender roles really don't matter as long as it's an agreement between the two. But my issue is, and Chelsea, you tell me if you're wrong. My opinion and what I observe is that women want men to be more traditional, but they don't want to be traditional themselves. And what I mean by that is, if you ask the majority of women, they want their man to be able to pay the majority of the bills, if not all of the bills, be a leader, be masculine, and take care of the duties of a man. And they typically don't want to work after they have the first child. But the problem comes in if women want men to be more traditional, and if men are doing all of this, what's wrong with asking a woman to be more traditional and hold the house down, cook, clean up, and all that stuff? Because we hear it all of the time. I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, whatever. But it has to be a point where we can come together and work together to have more relationships in our community, to build our community back up. So would you say that most women want a more traditional man to be that provider male?
I honestly think just the terms traditional man and modern woman itself are problematic. I think honestly at this point it became yours. And you know, if anybody is to expect anything from somebody else, then they need to be willing to, sacrifice something in return. Like if I'm going to give you my time, I need your patience in return, and et cetera, et cetera. And, as far as these women out here, these, know, these types of women who don't think that they need to work or that they need to bring anything to the table financially, and then that's a man's role. Like that's wrong, in my opinion, unless, because that's a misandrist in my view, and a man who thinks that a woman should just be in the house making babies, cooking and cleaning. Like I think that's wrong just because she's a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, but those two people work for each other, you know what I'm saying? And if those two people find each other and it works for that relationship, it only becomes a topic of discussion because of these stereotypes of what a traditional man and a modern woman is. That's what I think.
Okay. I can get down with that, and I'm actually glad you said that, because and a lot of where we get this term modern
Can you hear me,
woman.
or am I choppy?
Yeah, I can hear you okay now. You were a little bit choppy, but we were able to get
Am I
what you were
choppy?
saying. Yeah, you sound. I can hear you a little bit better now. You were a little bit choppy talking just then, but I think this is a little bit better now. But I'm actually glad that you said what you said, because most women, outside of women like yourself, you will hear them say a long laundry list of what they want a man to have or have together before they approach that woman. And then when you ask what they bring to the table, or what they can provide, or what they can do, you hear the cricket sounds. You know what I'm saying? And I actually like what you just said. If that works for that couple, for those two particular individuals, that's all well and good. However, the caveat to that is that women typically don't respect a man as much if he's not providing those resources. And that's just the bottom line. RJ, what do you think about that?
Okay.
Do you agree with that? You don't. I think.
Okay.
Are you muted, RJ?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I agree with it. Yeah, it makes sense, man. I'm trying to. I really wish you could get a. We can understand a little better because I think it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it
The
is.
two viewpoints, and I think it's getting lost in translation, but she really got some valid points.
Mm-hmm. Really,
And
really valid points.
yeah, man. But so she brought up a point about like terms or whatever labels. And that's something that really recently just came up is the labels. Nobody wants to be labeled, right? So the term modern woman or modern men or traditional women or traditional men, they really don't like that. So what I was gonna ask is like, so what could we use to describe a man that was born in the 20s or a woman that was born in the 20s? How could we describe them instead of a traditional whatever? What would be a better way to describe it? Because I think that gets lost in translation because they don't like the labels. So, what other label could we put on it to describe a man that was born in, another century?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With those more, and then another thing too is you actually have people that were raised a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that were raised to be more traditional. Some women were raised to want to be housewives and to want to take care of the family, and then you got some men that were raised to be provider, protector, priest, prophet, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what people are saying about not wanting to be labeled, but how do we define the two?
Right. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what you that's
Yeah.
what you getting at.
Yeah. And two, another point that she was bringing up as far as like the misogyny, which is hatred or hatred toward women, right? It's misogyny. That's correct definition of hatred toward women. Domestic abuse in general in the black family. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up with a mama who raised hell. My daddy was cool as a ceiling fan. My mama was the hot-headed one. Displaying all those emotions or whatever. My dad used to come home. He coming home drunk or whatever, chilling with the men or whatever. And I witnessed her kick him down a set of stairs. No one wants to talk about that though. So I think it goes both ways as far as that point. But I think that's another topic, and we could just stick on topic. That was just a point that she brought up, but from my personal experiences, that was my experience growing up.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's the point that gets overlooked, and they say like man shouldn't even talk about, right? So we can be sitting on the couch not doing nothing and get agged on to a point of no return, and as soon as we bark, oh no, you're the man, you should never. It's like okay, but if I get shot, I'm gonna say ouch. So, but it's always we shouldn't be misogynistic, none like that. But at the end of the day, the man still had to take all the responsibility. See what I'm saying? Because he's the man. So it's like in a relationship, it shouldn't matter. But when it comes to the system or how it's portrayed, we're still the man and being, and the lady is more or less the victim in the situation, right? So
I'm not going to expect my daughter to do what my son does, right? So I'm not going to treat my daughter the same way as my son. I'm not with my son. I'm gonna, put that rod on him. My daughter, I'm gonna probably, tread a little differently with her because she's a female. I'm not gonna expect for my daughter to get out, go in the yard with me and do some hard labor work that can destroy your hands, some tough stuff like that. I'm not gonna expect that from her. But the way that people today in general, the new generation, Gen Z or whatever they want to call themselves, they expect everyone to be totally equal. And so, those roles like that, they're interchangeable. And it really gets confusing for me because it's like it just opens up a whole another level of more stuff, and more things are gonna get, you know, thrown into the pot. Just, you know, they're going down a whole another rabbit hole. But I think that I think that it's good to define, or not really define, but like
Well, you know, it's
my
a reason they do that.
expectations. Yeah,
It's a reason
right.
they do that. You know, like as black men, we are strong, right?
Mhm.
Let us get mad or loud, and what do they say, right? And you know how
angry black man.
you know how black people got
Shoot
to
the hell
act.
out
You know how black men got to act at work just to fit that narrative, right?
you. Right.
Of course, they want your boy and your girl the same. I mean, we know physically some girls could be stronger, cool, but just bone
It's not the
structure and
norm.
density. Yeah, bone structure
Yeah.
and density just shows. It's like you can't blame our creator for that just because we
Right.
see it. You know what I'm saying? But of course they would want a world where it's less manly men, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know who would want that, but
I'm not sure either, but you know, my issue is always: are we doing better these days with more, or did our parents and grandparents do better with less? You know what I'm saying?
They most definitely did better.
they did better with less. Think
Yeah,
about
they-
these little kids now.
Yeah.
They got all the access to all the knowledge in the world at their fingertips, and they dumb as rocks.
And depressed.
Right,
Killing
and
themselves.
depressed.
Yeah, man.
And another thing too, like people, they can communicate all day long as they're typing. But then once you get face to face with somebody and have to have a real interaction with people, whether it be a young man trying to approach a young girl, they're socially awkward. You know what I'm saying?
No, I had a conversation with this one female. I kid you not, man. I had raised my voice just a little bit, and do you know what her reply back was?
Tell us about it.
Ruff.
What?
I swear. Ruff. I was like, what? They are socially awkward, man. I was like, you barked? Look, she said, I didn't know what else to say. I'm like, dang.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's scary, right?
crazy.
That's scary, right?
Yeah. It's mad scary. It's mad
Yeah,
scary. And another thing too, you know, I was raised, I'm the youngest of three, and I have two older sisters. And unfortunately, my father passed when I was 9. So in those real important formative years, I didn't have my father. My mother, she did exceptionally well, did the best she could. And fortunately, I had a lot of positive role models to look up to, you know, grandfather, my uncles, you know, men in church, what have you. I had those real positive role models to look up to. But all of my life, my mother would help do yard work. I would do the majority, but my sisters never did any yard work.
Mm.
And I always wondered, I would have to do stuff outside and then come on the inside and do stuff on the inside of the house too. And I never did understand it. I was always fussing with my mom and, you know, saying, you know, this ain't fair, da, 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 da. And one of the things that she told me that I'll never forget, and we need more of this, she was like, I'm harder on you because one day you're going to have to be the head of your family.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be strong for your family. It's going to be different for them. It's not going to be the same. And I think if we had more of that, I think we'd be a lot better off because like my boy always say, the Godfather, pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. You know, at the end of the day.
Mm. Man, that way of the way of thinking, the way that we think, like we're labeled toxic, right? For being natural men, the way that we naturally are, just existing as a, you know, a regular man, it's like, okay, you're toxic. So anything that has to do with masculinity or structure or discipline is, you know, it's toxic or misogynistic. You know, the hatred of women, and I don't hate women. You know,
Thank you.
Right,
So,
not at
that's
all.
not right. Yeah, man, and it's like those labels that they toxic and misogynistic, and you know, I say throw them away, man, because
Mhm.
it dilutes the conversation. We can't have a whole conversation because you're throwing terms at whatever labels or you want to put on me, negative things just for being a man, just for existing.
It's a cheat code in dialogue, right? Just take, for example, I said if she want to chop wood like a linebacker, how did it get to black women?
That was my thought, bro.
I was just talking about women. I'm like, what if I'm talking about
black
Betty Sue from Japan? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does this apply? Like, you don't put your insecurities on me. You know
I
what
had
I'm
that
saying?
same thought. Was like, how did that get to black women? Like, he just said women.
And I'm always thinking, what if like Martin Luther King was that sensitive? What would we be today? What if he thought he went through endured? That's what adults do. Endured. Don't look for the simplest way to hold on. Let me turn my phone off. Y'all go ahead.
I was about to say, I'm wondering when somebody gonna cut that ring off. But yeah, I feel you, and I think, and I said this earlier. I think those terms, misogyny and misandry, are really, really strong words.
Right.
And I also think that with the rhetoric that most modern women speak and live on today, I believe is more misandrous than men are misogynistic. And then, like you said, RJ, I don't hate women at all.
Man, what?
I want to find somebody that I can, build a legacy with, and have a family with. I love women. You know what I'm saying? But I think you hear more. It's only coming out more recently now, where you're hearing more men say, "Well, I'd rather be single." Women have been saying that for the last 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And I really wish we could get Chelsea back, because the conversation was getting good. But women have been saying that for over the last 20, 30 years, and men are just now saying it. For the majority of men want relationships. Black men want relationships with black women. But not just black women. I feel like that, or I think that women have been lied to for so long, and it's hard for a lot of them to actually accept the truth. And men have been quiet for so long. We've only been able to have these conversations in the corner of the barbershop, out on the basketball court, or out at the shooting range or whatever. Men haven't been able to express these kind of feelings and concerns openly until now, and I think it's a big shock to a lot of women. Yeah, I think it's a big shock to a lot of women that they think that they actually have to do anything to get a man or keep a man or help maintain a relationship, because you literally have women out there that think that they don't have to do anything. Nothing at all. Pay for no dates, pursue the man, anything like that. But I want to bring up this clip real quick, and this is what I wanted us to react to. Let me bring this up, and this is that rant I was talking about earlier. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this.
Keep coming back in my comment section complaining about modern. Y'all men keep coming back in my comment section complaining about modern women and how you want women to be back like it was in the good old days. Well, guess what? Them days wasn't good. All right. The truth of the matter is, y'all want that dynamic back because it was only beneficial to y'all. It wasn't for the women. Those women were just baby making machines, popping out babies left to right, house slaves, cooking and cleaning all day for a man who was at work, working for the man who would just come home and take out his frustration on her physically and mentally. Not to mention the kids that he was having outside that household that she had to turn a blind eye to and pretend like it wasn't happening because she couldn't do anything about it. She had no rights. She couldn't afford to get up and take all of them kids and leave him. Therefore, she had to just sit up in that household and put up with whatever he was giving her. Nothing about that sounds appealing to me. Nothing about that sounds like anything that I would want. I'm proud to be a modern woman. I'm happy that whenever I'm not happy, I can get up and leave at any point.
All right. So, gentlemen, what say you? We're gonna start with Mike L. Jordan.
Well, honestly, when I hear a female talking like that, I really can't hear nothing. It sounds like the Muffet Babies, like wah 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 wah. So she a modern woman, good for her. Like I told you earlier, it's like a car. I ain't got to buy it.
Yeah, true that. And this is also the same chick that has another TikTok, and I'm gonna find it. I wish I could have found it before we got started, but I'm gonna find it. And this is the same lady that says that she's not dating, and a lot of black women aren't dating because they rather be by themselves. But is it the fact that they'd rather be by themselves, or do they not have a choice but to be by themselves right now?
Because ain't no man gonna put up with that.
Exactly. Saying you want to be by yourself is another lazy shortcut in taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And my issue with this is how or why does it always go to the extreme? You know what I'm saying?
Extreme.
That's easy. And that's bipolar. You notice something when a person can go from hot to cold like that. That's why they came up with the term bipolar. I know countless people that's like that. It's like it could be it's very good and it's too extreme, but then it's very bad and nasty. And it's like, how could you move like that so fast?
Right. And I do know that domestic violence is real, and it does happen. It does happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, and I'm not saying that it's serious. I'm not saying that it's not serious. You know what I'm trying to. I'm not saying that it's not serious. But what I found out is that rhetoric that she was just displaying was not the norm. That was not the norm. That rhetoric came with The Color Purple, movies like The Color Purple, movies like Waiting to Exhale, and all of that stuff.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Tyler Perry, all of that stuff.
This is one thing. This is one thing. I'm gonna give you the cheat code too. So a lot of women who have been abused, not a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but I know some of them that have been abused have been verbally abused. Verbally assaulted. Nobody touched them, but I do know that verbal works on that mental, and it's just as bad as somebody smacking you. So a lot of people who have been abused have been verbally abused. My thing is probably 99.9% of men are verbally abused every day just for breathing.
Exactly.
And that's our thing. It's like, so I got to put up the work and put up with it when I come home. And all I'm doing is right. I'm not doing nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But you want to complain about everything. And the first time I say no, I'm attacking you.
Right.
That's from my personal experience. That's why it sounds so deep.
Man, you misogynistic, man.
Yeah.
It's like I've been called everything. I'm like, can I start using my colorful language that I want to call you? So stop putting that on me. Like I'm not, nobody, I don't know. This culture is all about being a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the main victim of this whole country can't even be a victim. So it's like, come on now.
Bro, I'm gonna get back to your point, JD, but that victim thing, I don't want to lose my thought. I literally just watched with Lil Nas X. He was being sued by Nike for creating the shoe, right?
Yeah.
And he made a commercial or whatever where it was like he took himself to court, and it was like this old black judge. He was talking like he was from the South, and maybe he was trolling or maybe not, but it's just true as to like the way that conversations go when we just talk to people and you have a disagreement, they go to the extreme. But he was, so the lawsuit is about the shoe, but Lil Nas X was sitting up and he was on the stand and he was like, "Is it because I'm gay?" And then I'm like, "What?" I'm like, why would you? It's because I'm a black man. Is it because I'm gay? I'm like, why would you? But yeah, it's like, okay, I can't even. You can't even be held accountable
off a brand,
right?
By using your whatever thing your marketing.
Yeah.
By you being gay and a black man, you try to capitalize off them with that stuff, and they just want their money. You use their product.
And he went to a whole nother thing. Oh, is it because I'm gay? I'm like, and like I say, maybe he was trolling because that's what he does. But I'm like,
yeah. He might have been trolling, but in my opinion, those types of things happen more often than not. You know what I'm saying? You can't take something that you use to brand yourself with and then take it and victimize yourself with it at the same time.
Let me give y'all a real life example of that. Well, that is a real life, but so this girl, she was a cashier, got a degree or whatever. Went to interview for engineering position, like software engineering, right? Or electrical engineering. And no engineering background, no engineering experience. So went to the interview, came home and said they were racist. I'm like, what did they do? Ask me questions. Okay, what kind of question? What kind of racist question did they ask you? They asked me, did I have any experience? And I'm like, how were they racist? Because she didn't get the job. So instead of saying she wasn't prepared, they racist. That's how, when we do pull a race card, we can't use it.
Right.
Jackass is burning it up.
Yeah, you absolutely right, man. And this whole modern women thing and women not dating anymore. I believe that most women, if they would drop that rhetoric and come to men in good faith, you know what I'm saying, and allow men to come to them in good faith, I believe we'd see more relationships getting together and let's talk like this. I'll give you another example. And women, I think a lot of women don't realize that reciprocity is big for men. I know women want to feel like they're being chased or pursued, but men want to feel the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? If y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but if I provide or take a lady out on, let's just throw a number out there, let's just say 5 dates. You know what I'm saying? Do you think by the time the 5th date comes around, do you think that lady should be showing you a little bit of effort too?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of women feel like that they don't have
a little bit of effort or pregnant.
A little bit of effort. A little bit of effort. But women really do feel like modern women really feel like they don't have to do anything.
You the choppy one now.
I'm chopping up a little bit.
Yeah, you back. You had froze up and everything.
Oh, my bad. But a lot of modern women think that women don't have to do anything at all in pursuit for a woman. I actually heard a woman say today that men should worship the ground that women walk on.
I think that's really how they think. Maybe they don't verbalize it, but I think that's how they think, man.
They're not going to say it, but a lot of them think that.
It's mentality, right? So I'll be having that mentality that I'm a dude, but I don't want a woman to. If she act like that, then I feel the same way she do. So I remember like visiting the strip club back in my heyday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get your little private room, and you're supposed to tip the dance, and I'm like, hold on, I'm back here with you. Why ain't you paying me? I'm like, I can dance too. So by them feeling that way, it's like you should find somebody who do want to worship. You can look at that 2 ways, right? Like if my ideal wife, I would worship the ground she walk on because she deserves it. Some you know what I'm saying? Some random basic, or not basic, but some random person off the street thinking that's crazy. What dues have you put in to think you the LeBron James or Beyonce's of the world? Like, what make you think that?
I think it's the culture, man. I really think it's the culture that has a lot of these ladies thinking that. And I'm 100% single. So if I'm seeing somebody, I'm seeing somebody. But recently, I was dealing with a chick, and we went out on several dates or whatever, and she kept talking about how she was about to get her hair braided, and she wanted braids for her birthday coming up, vacation, and all that good stuff, man. But then hit me up and said, "Well, I won't be getting my hair done because I just bought a Brahmin bag, and that was my hair money. I sure wish I could get my hair done still." You know what I'm saying? Hinting at the fact that she wanted me to offer to pay to get her hair done.
She thought she was texting SpongeBob.
Thought she was texting SpongeBob, but yet no reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even offer, to make a meal, provide a meal, invite me over, and I, done all of these, nice dates, chill or whatever, and all but asked me to pay for her hair.
But there's plenty of suckers and lames. There are plenty of suckers and lames out there that'll do that.
Yeah, of course it is.
Basically, they're paying for the whatever. So,
yeah, of course it is, and that goes into a lot of modern women feel like they're automatically entitled to a man's time and resources.
I wouldn't say a lot of modern women, because that's spitting on real women out here. They can't find a man because of location and because they fishing in the wrong pool. It's a lot of good women out there. They're just not out there like the other ones are. You know what I'm saying? They at home for real. They at work at home, church, doing whatever they got to do. That's why we can't find. Well, some of us can't find them because they ain't when they ain't at that club bar. You know what I'm saying? Or on Facebook, half naked. It's depending on what pond you fishing in.
Yeah, true that. But I'm telling you, man, the biggest pond
in Montgomery. Now, keep it in perspective.
The biggest pond, Montgomery, wherever it may be.
That's Lake Flint. There's poison in the water, man.
Man,
that's what I'm saying, man. The biggest ponds are the most poisonous, and the ones that are most the good ones to fish in. I don't know, man. They on private property. So, hard to find some.
I went to Chula Vista, 2 years ago. That's right at the border of Mexico, right? I met this black lady that was an engineer out there, single as a Pringle. And I was like, "Why are you single?" She was like, "There ain't that many black people in California." And she said they mostly date outside their race because it's a lot of black people in California don't have a job or don't have any money. So folks date, folks that do have something. Yeah. So I'm like, well, damn. So it's women out there literally on islands waiting for a prince to come through and just act right. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to find it, you better go look.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's like all those fairy tales. Prince Charming got to fight a couple of dragons, and I think Montgomery got several dragons.
Man, Montgomery ain't got nothing but dragons. And you make a valid point. Your location does play a big part in it. Your upbringing plays a big part in it too. Mm-hmm. And then I think we were talking about not too long ago going to a bigger city. If you go to a bigger city, to where I don't want to say better looking people, but it's a bigger city to fish in. You know what I'm saying? Once you go to a bigger city or somewhere outside of your comfort zone, I mean, you'll find that the fish are plentiful, for the lack of a better term, and different. I don't know if it's a small town mentality or whatever, but Like Mike Jordan just said, it's a lot of women out there that's willing to cooperate with a man, and that's mostly what we're looking for is cooperation. And I'm substituting the word submissive for cooperation because that's all that submission means is cooperation. But whenever
this is the part women don't realize about that submission word. If a woman submit to you, what's the chain? What's the cause and effect of that? You submit to her. They skip that part. It's like you're not you're not a slave.
right,
You're getting access to the kingdom, and I've got access to your kingdom. It's like that's just common sense.
Right.
But
right.
I'm sure somebody would probably say, well, when you say submit, it goes back to 1973 when the black lady was, I don't know, trying on horseshoes. Who knows what they come up with?
Not trying on horseshoes, man.
I'm just saying, I don't be liking that.
But my argument always is when a lot of women say things that are politically correct, right? And they're not going. A lot of them don't verbalize what they're really feeling or what they really want to say, and that's why I appreciate Chelsea so much because her perspective, you know, she keeping it all the way a stat, you know, keeping it 100%, keeping it 100% real with us. That's why I value her perspective so much. But a lot of women are not going to say what they really want. They say they want one thing, but what they really want is another thing. And another thing that I found out with dating around too, women like a man to take the lead and to take control. I've had several ladies tell me that, oh, I've never had a man that I felt like is a leader before, or I like the fact that you already had a date planned or whatever. And you tell me what to be, what time to be there, how to dress, da 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 da. They like that. Or at least a lot of them like it. And that's one thing that I'm just not learning. But a lot of them won't say that. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to be. Just tell me what to be. Because let's just be honest. And RJ, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If we ask our lady what she wants to eat, how many times is that gonna end up in an argument?
No.
Because she really don't know what she wants to eat most of the time. But if you tell her, hey, we're going out for Mexican at this time, this day, cool. They with it. 100% with it. And I believe that's where a lot of the disconnect is coming from too. Women say they don't want a traditional man, but to me, more traditional men are natural leaders.
It's just the way that we naturally are, right? So
right.
If we didn't, just say right, if I didn't grow up, if they just threw two babies out, you know, on an island, right, and let them grow up to be adults, the natural instincts will kick in. The man will automatically be the protector or whatever, and the female, because it's just in us. It's innately in us, right? These are just the way that the creator of heaven and earth created us. And his infinite wisdom, he created men to be men and women to be women. And I think that gets overlooked a lot. It's like, you know, the creator created us like this. And two, I think, because if you look at, you know, the field of people these days, a lot of them don't believe in God no more, man. They believe in the universe and all this other crazy stuff. And so whenever you start talking about, okay, I'm a traditional man, they think it's toxic, but it's really the way that the creator created you to be. That's the way that you naturally are. But like I say, a lot of these people don't even believe in a creator, universe. That's a whole nother dynamic. But just to get back to that video, because I never gave my thoughts on it.
Go ahead.
Man, Yeah, when she was talking about, you know, submitting or whatever, or being a slave, y'all probably aware of. I think you talked about it one time. Was the Cater to You song? A lot of these on Twitter, these females are like, "Nah, we're not slaves," or and it's like, man, that's that whole mind frame. It's like a female doesn't want to be her natural self, like caring and nurturing the way that she naturally is outside of
Feminine.
right outside of being influenced by Twitter or TikTok. Man, Twitter is the most vile place I ever been on, man.
Yeah.
Twitter's so crazy, man. I hate Twitter because it's like, I don't know, man, that place. But that's where most of their ideals come from, is like Twitter or social media. So if Kate, now they are reintroduced to songs like Cater to You, what they've been taught on Twitter or social media, it goes against that. Nah, what you mean cater to you? I'm not your slave. I'm not gonna wash your drawers. I'm not gonna clean up. I'm not. Nah, what it look like? Me catering to you. Cancel the song. The whole cancel culture. And that's that chick's mind frame. It's like, I can see why she's single right now, because like I said, ain't no man gonna put up with that. And she brought up a point where it's like, we're not going back to the 19 whatever where the men was getting treated bad in the world. He come home and treat us bad. That was a whole different dynamic system. We just coming out of slavery under Jim Crow. That is a different. We weren't in our natural state back then. You can't really compare that to what we're trying to say is everybody getting back to that natural state. That was a different system, bro.
You had a broken man trying to raise a family,
and it was never gonna work.
So when it comes to these women acting that way, I can put some onus on the man. Because for one, let's start it from U.S. history. The white man was in control and he abused his power. When we got free and all that, a lot of men did abuse their power. So I can't.
What they saw.
You beat a dog, what you think the dog gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bite you. So I can't. I can understand their mindset, but we ain't in them times no more. And if a man's trying to be a man to you, you shouldn't be like, "Oh no, I'm this new woman." Okay, be the new woman. But I'm gonna use your words against you. I'm gonna be a new man. So when you get pregnant, I don't want to be tied down to that stereotype of me having to support you and the baby. I don't want to be, I'm not gonna help you out in hard times. If somebody's robbing you, don't hold me down to help you.
Yeah.
That's misogynistic. So we both can play this role, but what's that gonna do? We're just gonna be two lost souls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the black female is the least protected, right? So that's what they like to say, the black female is the least protected. So
if you want to go buy some Sunday's best macaroni, you expect that Sunday's best macaroni to taste like macaroni, right? Imagine if that macaroni said, "No, homie, I'm broccoli." Like it don't work. You can be broccoli, but I'm not getting it. So you can try all these tricks. It's gonna work with somebody, just not your traditional. That's not a bad word. Your traditional man.
Yeah, and just continue the thought, man. I think when I think about traditional man or a masculine man, I think of someone who's a protector, a provider.
And that's all that means.
A protector isn't gonna beat on his wife. It doesn't matter what she does. It's like, I know I'm physically stronger than you. I know that I can really hurt you. If I am a protector, I am gonna protect you. I'm not gonna hurt you because I love you. I understand that I just physically I can do things to hurt you. I'm not gonna do that because I am a masculine man. That's not a masculine man to sit there and beat on a woman. That's not masculinity. That's femininity.
Exactly.
You're emotional.
And if the concernment is protection, right? If you are in that abusive relationship with that man, tell another real man about him and see what happens.
Exactly.
Don't blame the next man because the new man, the old man did something wrong. Let somebody know. Let a real man know. Like we said, we are protectors. But if you don't tell us and you clowning me because your slime did something wrong, you work in the system. You just work in the system wrong. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I ain't never had a thought about putting a hand on a female, bro. And I'd have been in situations where I'd have been yoked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Real passionate
right.
situations, like, and I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing? I'm still calm and trying to talk. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
same.
like, even if I halfway push you, you're gonna fall down. I'm not gonna do that. Just let me go. Just let me walk away. That's
Yeah,
all I want to
same.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And
And
see,
another,
me, I'm a firm believer in this. I'm not a subscriber to the never touch a woman, because if she got a gun or a knife to you, I think
Oh
you
yeah.
need to get the
Yeah.
hell off away and protect yourself. Because I done had the butcher knife. Boy, what I'm gonna sit there and say, I'm a man.
Nah.
I'm gonna get cut me. No, I'm gonna take that knife and I'm gonna run away. That's what I'm gonna run off, call the law, or do something.
You might wake up in the judgment. You pull a gun on me because I'm gonna say you threatened my life, female or not. You trying to kill me? Like, no,
It's
we're not
different.
gonna do
You
that.
see what I'm saying? That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't do the man shouldn't hit woman. I say humans shouldn't hit humans. Period.
Right. Yeah.
And if you do, all right, then you signed up for
Mhm.
you signed up for some kind of practice.
Mhm.
But the way to protect yourself as a black man is like with the police pull you over. Play the game as the game is. You can't hate the game. If a woman do hit you or she trying to kill you or something, call the police. That's the system in place. It sounds weak, but however, protect yourself. You cannot retaliate.
Right, and you are exactly right. You have to protect yourself at all costs, and we need to normalize that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in a situation where I had to call the police on a woman, and trying to go upside my head, da 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 da, this, that, and the whoop, the whoop, the whoop, beating me with a broomstick, and never laid a hand on them. But as soon as I called the police,
they ain't do nothing.
Oh, you the most. I can't believe you called the police on
Her whole
me.
family called you.
Hey, you are so wrong. You need to leave. You should go. That's the lowest thing you can do is
Hey
call the
RJ,
police.
this the one
Yeah,
who
that's
clowned.
crazy.
Hey RJ, this the one who clowned us when they were nigged in spades.
Man,
You
you
remember.
ain't. We don't remember nothing like that. I don't know what you're
That
talking
was
about.
funny though. Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's that book right there.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Oh, them was the good
Man.
days though. Them was
I
the
don't
good
know what you're
days.
talking about at all. But but yeah, it's like stuff like that. But I believe if women would allow men to be more in their masculine, it would automatically allow them to be more in their feminine. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't like masculine and feminine or whatever. But like RJ said, it's the way that our creator made us. You know, it's just something that's wired in our DNA.
Look, and like RJ said, when we teach masculinity, they say toxic, right? This is what's toxic to me. I remember it was this girl, and when I was going for my associate's degree, her son put on her shoes. As men, as babies, okay, that's normal for a dude to put on his mama's shoe when he wanted to. The reaction is supposed to be a little tap or take off that shoe, right? Her reaction to me, she said, "Oh, my little man gonna be gay." And I said, "No, he's not. Tell him that's wrong." No, he's gonna be gay.
That man would have corrected him.
You know how toxic that is to me.
Yeah.
He's not choosing to wear your shoe. You're telling this mind that don't even know how to talk yet.
It's a child.
That
you don't know right from wrong.
That's how you're painting your canvas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna paint my canvas is that shoe equals your butt's gonna sting. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get pinched or something like, hey, that's not your shoe. Put on daddy's shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gonna be a long walk and you ain't walking in no heels. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
a kid is a blank canvas. When folks say a kid is born a certain way, no, they're not. Because if that's the case, a Japanese kid ain't born speaking English. You're born in your culture. It's common sense.
Yeah, you're 100% right, man. And I think respect plays a lot into it too, because this modern culture you know, like RJ was talking about Twitter and all that stuff, they are conditioning women to think that the only value that men have is their wallet. And a lot of women are think that they're automatically entitled to a man's resources and time. And that is not the case at all. We reacted a couple weeks ago the video that we did. My ex still pays my bills with Blue Jasmine that everybody's talking about, and you know she's getting a lot of clout now, and that rhetoric, and she's building up a following, man. And I'm about to start a podcast and all that stuff. That is the most dangerous rhetoric ever, because she's telling people, and it's not just her, it's a whole other side of YouTube other than this space that's telling women how that you need to finesse a man out of his money, and a man should be willing to pay your bills, and you not have to give him anything in return, buy you a car, buy your apartment, all of this stuff. And that's not how it should be. And most men are walking away now too and saying, you know what, I'd just rather be single than to deal with all of that. I'd rather just have my peace by myself than to deal with this rhetoric, man. Because as hard as we work, and I feel like I can speak for the three of us on here, as hard as we have to work, and as hard as we have worked to get to where we are, and for a woman to just think that they're entitled to it just because, that's insane to me. And you know, I'm at a point to where, you know, like I said, I want to be in a relationship with, you know, with a woman or whatever. I'm in a position to where I can move somebody in and still pay all of the bills and still provide or whatever. But the problem is that women don't want to do anything to deserve that, to get the keys to the kingdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they want the responsibility of children, man. That's what that is. That's childish. It's like, especially what she was talking about, man. It's ridiculous, because it's like, even as a man in that situation, because she said she had another man. We already talked about it, but say she had another man and he was living with him while another man was paying the bills. Just put yourself in that position.
That's another man.
Another man is paying your bills. Your ex man. I mean, your female's ex is paying all of y'all's bills. It's like, what? Like,
there's a lot of that going on, but it's normally in the poor communities.
Nah, ain't no. Your ex ain't finna pay my bill.
I've seen it in real time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Especially in our community, that's how it go, because of child support. It is a nigga or a guy paying your bills in a new relationship.
Well, yeah, but you know it's supposed to be there for the children, right?
Yeah.
But if it's no children attached,
what's up?
Right? But if it's no children attached, I'm not gonna be you out your mind. Like, nah, you finna get thrown headlong out of here.
But that don't apply to regular. Well, some dudes maybe, but normally I do know like slower people doing that. I do know they are slower. Now you can get over on slower people. You can't get over on slower people. So I have seen. You
ain't gonna get that off on me.
Yeah, it does happen. Matter of fact, I know a chick that she had broke up with the dude that she was previously with before she started talking to me, and the dude was trying to get back with her or whatever, and the dude went and bought her a brand new car, and she made him sign a contract that said, you will pay for this car and leave it in my name regardless of what happens. And she took the car, and the dude was paying the car payment, the insurance, and she
ran you around in it.
Yeah. And I didn't feel right about it.
Now I agree with it. Not so he might got a plight. And this is all comedy style. He might got a plight, right? Like he bought the car, the insurance. Hopefully he bought the general. And hopefully the car doesn't come with brakes, airbags. He a smart guy if he living that way.
It was a brand new car, man. Brand new. 0 miles when it came off the lot. But that's what I'm saying though. She had no more interest in this dude.
Mm-hmm.
But she took the car knowing that he was gonna pay for it. And continued to let him pay for it.
Those are anomalies when it comes to a car. But when it comes with a dude trying to get back with an ex, that's every day. Especially for younger dudes. I done been trapped up in situations like that. Younger, you messed up trying to get back with an ex, trying to take out to eat. You might try to buy this, that, and the third. She don't want you, but she ain't gonna turn down nothing but a collar. You know what I'm saying?
I got caught up in it too when I was younger.
But a car? No.
Yeah, but a car, bruh. A car. And you know, she drove around in that car.
Like be the crash test dummy, I'll buy the car. They're gonna practice on us. We'll do that.
I hear you, man.
Comedy style.
But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Man, I really wish Chelsea could have continued along with us. We'll try again the next time we talk. But I'm gonna make sure I put y'all's information down in the description. RJ, you got something you want to shout out before we dip?
Yeah, man. I want to shout you out, man, for opening up your space and allowing these kind of conversations, man. I know you guys personally.
Yeah.
So, but it's good that we have conversations that we are having a drill hall or off in the in the room, out in the open. Because like you were saying, normally men just talk amongst men and
water cooler talk.
Yeah, so I think it's good as far as trying to get the family structure back, the Black community, back with a family structure, some kind of structure.
Right.
It's for the men to actually stand back up and be men and have conversations, have tough conversations, like we're having differences of opinion, like Miss Chelsea. That her input is valuable. Because I want to get to understand, the way that they view stuff, because I think being introduced to stuff different, difference of opinions and ideas, that just sharpens you up, right? So it tests where your standpoint is on situations and make you reevaluate stuff, because we ain't got all the answers. So I think her input was very the way it was going, it was gonna be, it was gonna be a good show, man. And I wish, like you said, I wish she could have stayed, man.
Yeah, we definitely gotta have her back, man. Definitely. Valuable input. Mike L. Jordan, you got something you want to shout out, man? And I appreciate the kind words, RJ.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely want to, like RJ said, piggyback off that. Shout out to your platform for trying to get this off the ground. Family structure style. Second point is I appreciate Chelsea's Wi-Fi for shutting that crazy stuff down. It wasn't agreeing with her, but
come on, man.
The men ain't the victimizers, it's that Wi-Fi. But no, for real, it'd be good dialogue. I love seeing people's perspective and seeing how they go, because they just sharpen my tools. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
But other than that, women, we love you. Hope you love us back. I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah, that's true, and that's why we're here, because we absolutely love women, and we want to be able to work with y'all. You feel me? Trying to do a little something. But yeah, that's what's up. Chelsea,
shout out to the Wi-Fi.
Chelsea, I hope we get to have you back again soon. I want y'all to please go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Share the video on all of your social media platforms. Invite people to the group. I want y'all to be active in the group on Facebook too. And we have the dialogue. If anybody has anything that they want to add to the Facebook group or post, if you're in there, please feel free to do so. I don't have to be the one to post all the time. Alabama Church Girl doesn't have to be the one to post all the time. We want to hear from all of y'all. So please feel free to post, comment, and we just here to have a conversation. But until next time, people,